All right. It looks like we are live and recording, and I'm I'm out here in Woodland Hills, so I apologize if the connection is a little sketchy. And this will probably be a shorter call than our normal. We've been going like almost 2 hours on these calls, and the last few months, it's kind of pretty cool. But it's funny, half of the people that are normally on the call are here at this event, so that's why they're not on the call with us here today. So anyway, if you wonder why it's a little late this week, I got them all in person here. So anyway, let's I'm not gonna I don't really have a specific topic or anything for today. So today is just pretty much about answering any questions that you guys might have. And we'll get to it. Has anybody got anything you want me to cover or anything you're running into?
I
I
got something I want to throw out.
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, so you know me. I'm always cruising to see what's out there. And what was really funny was there's a guy named Christopher Reeder, and he says he's like the fantastic marketeer and affiliate marketing and all this gobbledygook. And I'm going like, I've been in this. I've been with you, John. What, 12 years now? Maybe more.
Yeah, something like that.
Have we ever heard of this guy, Christopher Reeder? Like the big, like these guys coming out of the woodwork just drive me crazy. Just that's plain and simple. So I wanted to throw out that. But something that's also more important. Last night I went to the Los Angeles County Economic Development Meetup, and the county, us people who have all these small niches and stuff, if you live in LA County, they're looking for people to educate their business group on digital marketing. It's amazing. Digital marketing. I was in a room with 40 people. I was the only marketeer in AI space. Nobody else was there. Microsoft was there, Google was there, LA County, LA Help Legal, and another group. And the bottom line was that the, the, there's opportunity for us, and I encourage you to look at the LA County Economic Development Department because they're extremely helpful. I'm now being signed into the Apex program, and the Apex program is a coaching program from the county on how to move your business to the next level. And I have an appointment with them in April for an hour and a half. So, and they already gave me my guidelines of what I have to get ready for that meeting. But the bottom line is, I just wanted to throw out there for people, and if you don't live in LA County, check your own county for economic development because government contracting is not as crazy as we hear, but it's not as easy as people try to promote it. But the bottom line is, check it out because opportunities knocking, and we got to go and get it.
All right. Sounds like a winner. Yeah, there's lots of opportunities to get out and get in front of people. Just one thing I would encourage everybody when you're doing that stuff, make sure you're talking the right talk to the right audience. Because one thing I've seen, and I've done this myself, I've gone to places where I was talking to people that weren't my ideal customers, and I got the wrong customers out of it. And that really is can be problematic. So gotta be careful of that one. And anyway, I'm gonna turn. I don't know how the bandwidth is here. Are you guys hearing me okay? Everything okay? Cool. I'm gonna turn my camera off because I think I'll get better bandwidth. I'm actually at the hotel here, so I can see my image is glitching there. So I'm just gonna cut the video. You guys can just listen in. But one of the things I wanted to share that I've been kind of working on this week is I've been playing around with my agentic AI, and oh my God, what a game changer this thing is. I had it, I uploaded a bunch of files. I had it transcribe all of the ACT protocols, all the videos that we've done out of our training, and I asked it, like, what do you think of this? And it gave me like a bunch of really, really good feedback about the program. And it actually came up with, I think you need to do Act 2.0. And I said, really? Why is that? And it says, well, you did these 10 years ago, and I can tell that your voice and tone today is much different. You're on a different base, and the training is dated because of that. So I'm like, well, that's really cool. Could you help me with that? And it said, absolutely. And I said, what do you think of the idea of me not doing the training and having my AI assistant Becky do the training? And it came back and it said, that's a great idea, but you really need to be a part of it as well. So it recommended a hybrid training where Becky and I banter back and forth. And I'm like, that sounds really cool. So, because one thing you guys know about me, I don't really like to talk about myself. Like, and Becky loves to talk about me. So it's like, when you're doing marketing and all that, you need that credibility. And I've just never been really good at that, the whole the whole pumping yourself up and promoting yourself and all that. So I've always leaned on others, and now that Becky is part of the payroll, hey, why don't I just lean on her for that? So it was really cool. I had it give me an outline for the new training. And I said, by the way, if I missed anything, let me know what you think. And I gave it the whole background of basing ACT off the ad agency model. And it pretty much came up with, you've got stuff in the old program that is no longer effective with AI, with the use of AI. And it did a deep dive on all the quantum tools, gave me a couple of tools that I'm missing that I need to put in. Like, for instance, I need a gap tool in the analysis process where it comes to the point of you doing your research on your competitors, the competitor research. So anyway, long story short, it it basically gave me an outline for the new Act 2.0 training. And I thought this is really, really good. I loved it. There was only one thing that was out of order, and it had the Franklin Belief Builder after the presentation creation. And I'm like, we need that first because that's part of the presentation creation. And it said, yep, you're absolutely right. Shuffled the order. And then I took it a step further. I said, I want to know that you really have this wired as far as the way the structure of the training is going to go. So not only would I like you to give me an outline of the course lessons, I want you to give me a deep dive bullet point list of all the things that will be covered in each lesson. And I went back and forth with this thing for like the better part of a day, getting it all dialed in. And then I said, okay, it's time for us to actually build the first lesson. And it built the first lesson out. And I could see that some of the scripting, because I'm going to actually bring Becky to life. I'm going to bring her to life in a talking head. And when I do that through HeyGen, I've learned over the last year that you have to write the script phonetically correct. It like, for instance, a perfect example is when I say ad agency in text, it's AD agency. And when that's phonetically brought out in a voice script and a voiceover, it comes out ad agency. So it's not right. So I have to put in ADD for ad agency. And then I have to spell agency differently. So it's interesting. And I told it that. I pointed that out. I said, these are going to be voiceovers created off these scripts. So I need it phonetically done. And it actually put in all the inflection. Like I'd never done voiceovers to this level before for AI production. And it put in all the inflection, like where to be excited, where to whisper, how to pause, how to change emotional breaks in the scripts. And it wrote all that out. And I'm like, holy crap, this is freaking awesome. So I cannot wait to put those lessons together and actually build those voice scripts. And it also, oh, get this, the PowerPoint presentations to go with the lessons as well. They're all coordinated. It sectioned off each section, the A, C, and the T into green, yellow, and red. So each section has it's like color coded. So when you're in that section, you know where you are because of the color of the frame. So, I mean, just really, really incredible work that this system has done for me. And, once I got the first one dialed in, I said, okay, let's scale and do the second one and the third one and the fourth one. And it came up with a total of 13 core lessons for the entire ACT program. And then it's got 4 bonus sessions. And we're running through this thing. And we got up to the ninth lesson and the thing bombed. And I'm like, at this point, I've spent like 3 days. I've got 3 days wrapped up in this, and it bombed. So I got 8 lessons complete, downloaded, ready to go. And now the agent session that I had completely trained for this is dead. I'm like, oh shit, now what do I do? But I actually saved all the interaction, both mine and its back to me in a Word doc. So what I did, I opened a new session and I said, "Hey, we were in the middle of something and you bombed out and I need you to pick right up where you left off." So it said, "Oh, well, if you can load the transcript, I'll pick up right where we stopped." And I did, and boom, we're right back in business. It didn't miss a beat. Oh my God, that was like a ton of bricks off my shoulders because I'm thinking, shit, lesson 9 through 13 is going to look different and she's going to sound different. And I'm like, just like, oh, I was so bummed. But it was a major relief when I did that. So the lesson to that, the moral to that, if you're working on a large project with AI bombs. It will lock up and it glitches. So whatever you're doing, keep a running track of all the transcripts and just throw them in a Word document. The Word doc will get very long. That's okay. There's not a problem with that. But it's really important that you save your work. It's just like working on Word for Windows or PowerPoint or whatever, and your computer glitches and you lose a whole day's worth of work. It's really important, even in AI, to save your stuff. It will save your bacon. Like, for me, I really value my time incredibly. So for me to think that I had just lost 3 days, that was a brutal punch in the gut. But then to find out, I didn't really lose 3 days. I only took me about 10 minutes to get right back. So that was pretty cool. All right, Ed, you got your hand up there. Go ahead. You got a
Oh,
question?
good to hear about that stuff you're doing there. Yeah, we'll get into that down the line. Listen, I'm simpler stuff. I'm trying to run the Optimonster back to the old favorite subject here at White Label at the moment.
Okay.
I've got everything ready to go, but here's where I'm at with it. Like, I think I need to understand what I'm selling a wee bit more so we can get the marketing dialed in, right? And I'll cross-reference with that. See when we're prospects are on the lead magnet page, right? The driver to
Yep.
get the sign up to opt-in, right? It says on that, right? A visibility score, right? So naturally, you're going to want to improve that, right? Especially like when you jump in the email sequence, I'll think about offering like that 60-day guarantee that will guarantee to boost your AI score by 60 days, if not whatever. XYZ, we can guarantee something. But look, if that score calculator it's not technically available in our back office, right? We can't actually physically replicate that score itself, right?
Yes,
So
that's correct. So the
yeah,
lead magnet thing to put on your site, that is really just kind of a lead gen thing.
uh,
That's not really part of the Optimancer process.
yeah,
That's
uh-huh.
just to generate a lead.
Should
Once you
we change
sell,
that then?
well,
Should we
once
change the word?
yeah, you might want to change the wording on it, but once you actually turn that into a customer, what you do in Optimancer, the very first thing you do is you run a baseline report, which is
Yeah.
called the progress report.
Yes, uh-huh.
And the progress report will show, like, if anything's been done, it will show it. And then you do the Optimancer work itself, and then you rerun the progress report, and it will show that you did all the stuff, and that's where the value is.
Right. So like I'm taking it Optimancer by itself, right? So what it does, it'll fix it'll add the LLMS, it'll do the FAQ, and it'll do the schema, right?
Yes.
Um,
And that's really the three things as the baseline service, because
uh-huh.
what you're doing, you got to be careful the way you position, how you position yourself in this as far as expectations.
That's what I'm thinking,
This
yeah.
is a little different than SEO. In
Uh-huh.
SEO, they could clearly see the rank, and you're out there trying to provide rank. Here, there's no
Yeah,
rank. So really, the only promise that you're making is the promise that you're getting their site to become visible in the AI scheme of things. And
yeah.
to do that, there's really only three things that you need to have done. You have to have the LLM in place, you have to have schema in place, and you have to have
Mhm.
the FAQ in place. And the FAQ is even like questionable whether that's an absolute hardcore necessity.
Mhm.
But you do
Yeah.
need the schema and the LLM to really be in the game.
Mhm.
And that's
Should
what
we
you're
then
selling.
get you? Should we reword them? Know that email sequence you did because it does sort of mention some of the stuff that in the SEO landscape you're talking about building trust through citations, backlinks, and that
Yes.
sort of stuff. I take it that so that be would be if you're going to try and market that would be technically unless you were adding in the whole SEO package that would be something you would need to factor in pricing, wouldn't you? Because that's going to
Yeah,
be.
and keep in mind that funnel that I put out,
Mhm.
that was an AI package that it delivered. So you
Yeah,
definitely want to adjust those emails to your business and what you're offering and all of that stuff. I know in
yeah.
the actual Kartra funnel where I put the funnel together, I did a lot of editing on the emails inside the Kartra funnel,
Mhm. Mhm.
which is, what you should be doing. And even the Kartra
No,
funnel, you need to edit that to yours.
yeah, no, I've been doing that today. One final thing, see your product AO Dominator, does it help with any of the stuff we could sort of cross sell in the package?
Yeah,
Do you know what I mean?
The AIO Dominator, it doesn't have anything that's automated. It's all manual processes, but
Hmm.
it has a lot of other tools in there to do a lot more than what Optimancer does.
Hmm.
Optimancer really only automates those three things.
Yeah.
Now it does do the reporting and tells you how to do a lot of other stuff. And that's
Hmm.
where if you wanted to do that other stuff and offer higher level services, that's where the AIO Dominator would come in and help you automate some of those other
Yeah.
processes.
Oh, how much is that a month, the AO Dominator?
I've got a coupon that'll get it to you at the $25 a month for the founding members. I still have that available.
Yeah. Send that to me or I'll email you about it. One final thing before I let you off the hook, right? Because that on that lead gen mentions, I know we can change it, your AI visibility score. Can you get in trouble for like mentioning something like that up front, but not actually delivering on it? You know what I mean? Or actually, in another way, was there any way Chris could code in some sort of version of a AI visibility score also into the software?
Well, it's really not necessary to have an AI visibility score. It's either you're visible or you're not.
Hmm.
And basically that is shown very clearly with the progress report. So
Yeah, so maybe
it's
we
not
need to.
really a score. This the whole score thing was a marketing gimmick.
I know that's
That's
what I mean, but you know yourself,
that's the
people
get
do like these, and they do like these scoring systems. You know what I mean? People inherently like them. You know what I mean? And I
yeah,
was
yeah,
thinking,
that's
yeah,
why we did it on the front end to get people to opt
uh-huh,
in. But the
uh-huh,
reality is once you're selling them the service, you're not selling them a score. You're selling to make them visible. And
right,
there's only three things really that makes them visible, and those
uh-huh.
three things are all in the progress report. So personally, I wouldn't even show the clients those other reports. Those other reports are if you're going to sell them a report for their team to do the work, that's where you would give those reports to them.
Their tech, the high tech SEO. Yeah, no, I'm not offering that at the minute, so I'm just thinking, yeah,
Yeah, I would really keep this clean and simple and just keep it to the base report that is it's called the progress report. So basically, you're giving them a progress report that shows their initial status before you start your work. And then you
uh-huh.
can give them another progress report to show what you've done. And you can actually, there's a way in Optimancer that you can check off incrementally what you're doing, even though Optimancer does it all at once. Like
But it
if you
has
have
got,
a hundred,
yeah,
let's say you have a
I haven't
hundred
figured
page
out how
website,
to do that yet. Yeah, I haven't
it'll
figured that bit out yet. How you do that? You know, that's the only thing.
yeah, if you have a 100 page website, you can have Optimancer check off that you've only done, 25 of the pages. You can send them that progress report, and then you can go check off another 25, and you might tell them, yeah, we're doing these 25 a week, even though
Yeah.
Optimancer really does them all in a flash because it shows more value.
That's it. Hey, would you, one final thing on make another one? Say if you were doing a service for someone and they didn't want to come on a monthly retainer, right? And you're making them visible to AI, would you only guarantee that would stay like for a certain length of time? Do you know what I mean? So
Well,
you could switch them off in the plugin after 2 years.
if it's somebody in WordPress, you you only have so many seats. You're charged each month for those seats. So it is an ongoing fee to you. So you want
Mm-hmm.
to make that an ongoing service. If you've
Yeah,
got somebody that just wants to pay once, I would sell them the report and let them do the work themselves.
I get you. Yeah, that's all right. Thank you
Yeah,
very much.
that's the way that you would that's the way you would handle that type of client. And that way,
Awesome.
you're giving them the value and then they're just going to do the work.
Got it. No worries. Thank you very much.
All right, you got it. All right, Daryl, go ahead.
Yeah, thank you, John. I was just curious, all that work you said that you did and then had to recover it, was that
Yeah,
with Perplexity?
no, that was actually with our new agentic thing. We haven't released it to the public
Oh,
yet.
okay.
I've just been playing with it to kind of see what are the capabilities of it. And it
Sounds really
just
impressive.
oh yeah, it's really just blowing my mind. The I keep talking to the programmers about, when is the viability of us being able to offer it, and they're kind of avoiding the subject. So it's pretty complex. But what I might do if it's a problem, if we're not able to offer it up, to the public, uh, I think what I'm going to probably do is I'm going to teach it how to do funnels, and then we might offer the done for you funnels and have this thing kick out the funnels for people. Because
Interesting.
yeah, it like once it's done doing the ACT program, I've got like three other projects in line for myself. Like I'm going to have it do the funnel for Optimancer and do the presentations, the webinar sequence. I mean, the whole enchilada. And I'm going to have it knock that out. And then I'm going to do another one, to promote the ACT program. And I think at that point, I'll probably have enough under my belt to to be able to make a viable offer of, hey, we can do a complete marketing funnel. Here's what it looks like. Here's the steps. Here's the deliverables of what you get, and here's the price. And I think you probably make those fairly affordable. So I think a lot of
Okay.
people would want that because that's really what this thing is all about. This thing is to do massive work like that. Anything else you can do in Perplexity, if you just need little one-off stuff, Perplexity is perfectly fine for that, or even Chat GPT. There's been a lot of advancements in it. But if you want something to just take off and run and find all the experts and bring it all together for you, I'm just absolutely blown away at what this thing's doing. It's absolutely incredible.
What application is that, John?
It's one that we're building in-house. It's the same programming team that built the Quantum Suite. They're I'm always throwing stuff out at my team like, yeah, I would love to have this. I would love to have that. And then every once in a while they go, well, here you go. Try it out.
That's not the same thing you were talking about in the beginning where you were doing some work and you lost everything and you had to go back in.
This is all fairly new. This is fairly new, like within the last few weeks that I've been playing with this thing.
Okay.
So there's been other stuff. Like I just recently invested in a company in Florida, and they supposedly have this thing that will do hour-long motion picture quality videos. And I think at this point, I haven't seen anything remotely close to being able to tell me that that's really going to happen. So I think it might just be a sham, but that would be really cool if this thing would create like an hour-long motion video that was high quality, because that's just not available in AI yet. And so I got a lot of stuff like, in play. What will actually come to the surface and be able to be released is still remains to be seen. But it's a very exciting time, I got to tell you. Of all the cycles that I've been through online, this is by far the most exciting time that I've seen yet. It's just blowing my mind, like how fast you can create stuff and valuable stuff that you could actually sell. It's just incredible. Like if you're a service provider, I steered way, way clear of a lot of different services just because of the labor intensity and the training and all that. And that stuff's all just out the window. Like if a client wanted copy for a website, I would tell them to go hire a copywriter. And now I don't have to do that. I'm like, okay, well, let me have my AI research your industry and your website, and it will tell us what the hot topics are, and it'll create a page of content for each one, and we'll load it up for you. I mean, done. We could literally have 100 pages of content by the end of the day. It's amazing. Like before, that was such a messy process. I just didn't want anything to do with it. And even software. I mean, putting out software and products and stuff, online products, there's so much support documents that really make the thing much more valuable, much more user friendly, and much less support intensive on our end. And all that stuff takes work. And it's just, for me, it's like a can of worms. It's like a nightmare that now is like a dream come true because the system knows what I need. Like when I output and they're not perfect, they do need to be edited. Like when I supply docs for you guys and swipe files and stuff, there's no swipe file you're ever going to get that's just really print ready, copy and paste. You need to read the stuff. If you're sending things out to your audience, you need to read them and make sure it's in your tone, your reflection, your voice, your ethics, your offerings, and make sure it's in alignment. You got to do that. Even if you're working with an AI and you're building stuff for yourself, you really need to do that. Now, when I output the files for the Act 2.0, it was amazing how accurate it was and how right on the money it was and how it really impersonated me to a T. I think, at some point, I think AI is going to figure out, we're pretty ineffective as beings and say, hey, we don't really need you guys anymore. This is how we're going to do it. Just get out of our way. Which, that's the thing that kind of scares people. And yeah, I can see it. I can totally see it's coming. But Jim, go ahead.
Yeah, this is amazing stuff, John. How was your birthday?
Oh, it was awesome. Yeah, we had a Taco Tuesday party and whooped it up a little bit.
Nice.
Nothing too crazy this year though.
There we go.
Happy,
Um,
happy birthday, John.
Thanks.
a buddy
I'm
a
a
buddy of mine approached me about 2, 3 weeks ago. They're putting on something called MicroBiz Launchpad. It's a 2-day weekend workshop where they bring people in and with varying degrees of proficiency with AI and teaching them how to build an app. And they invited me to come in as a business coach and talk about market analysis, marketing copy, sales. What are some of the key points that you think I should share with them, the audience?
Okay. Are you basically there to like show them how to build apps for that stuff or just talk
No,
about stuff they
there's two
need?
other guys that are going to take care of the technical side of things.
Okay.
I'm
So
there.
so so basically what you want to outline, the thing that would probably provide the most value to that group is showing them how to figure out what apps they need to build.
Right.
So, and what you want to do is you want to focus on process. Like there's a process to analysis and market research. And it's very similar to what I did inside the ACT program in inside Quantum. I created the first app is the market segmenter. And that's kind of the first key piece to your analysis is to separate the market and figure out where the money is. So that's number one. And then once you figure out the money, where it is, you want to dive into that bucket and figure out who is your ideal customer in that segment. So that would be number two. And then after you figure out, where they are, who they are, the next thing you want to know is you want to know what they're getting bombarded with. That's your competitor research. So those are kind of like the things that I would stick to if I were to be talking about that is those three buckets, and then they can create their tools based around that to accomplish those goals.
Gotcha. So really looking at the ideal target market, um, their needs, wants, desires. How can the app save them money, save them time, eliminate pain or boredom? Um,
Yeah, yeah.
and then looking at the competition.
And it's really incredible how accurate that the stuff is when you prompt it right. You gotta put that little disclaimer out there of when you prompt it right. And this, you're basically pushing the responsibility off of you onto the app builders that they need to understand what they're asking it to do so it does it properly. Like market
Right.
segmentation, you want to know what are the top markets and you want them sorted in order of profitability. You might
Yeah.
also want the app to give you a little display or a little description of why it believes that this is the number one market segmentation. And because I know with mine, I had it look at the top 10 and it goes
Yeah.
from highest to lowest in profitability. And then in there, it tells you, why it's a good one. And not always the number one segment is not always the one that's best for you. Like you might find the number one segment doesn't really align with your product, but the number two or three really does. So for you, the number two or the number three might be the right one for you. That's the most profitable segment for your offering. So it's not always, you can't always just go by the numbers.
Yeah, and I think something that you've said repeatedly is you won't build something until you know there's demand for it, maybe even
That's you.
pre-sales.
Yes, that's
And
correct.
and then also having stakeholders involved in the beta testing and feedback loop as
Yep.
early as possible.
Yeah. I mean, quite often when I'm looking at something like that, I will offer the product for sale before I even have it.
Right.
There's literally been many, many cases along through my path that I've actually offered something for sale before it was even ready. And honestly, if I offer something for sale before it's ready and nobody buys it, I really start questioning whether they'll buy it after I've spent a bunch of time and money building it. I really have to question that. And quite often, if I can't, this is what I found to be absolutely true. If I can't sell it now, I'm not going to be able to sell it later.
Right.
So that is the biggest indicator for people to give you a thumbs up of if they open their wallet up. Like I've been in rooms where, I'll be in like a mastermind room, for instance, and I'll say, "Hey, I got this idea. I'm thinking about building this product. What do you guys think?" And you'll have 100 people in the room say, "Oh, that'd be awesome. I would buy that in a minute." And then you leave there and you go home and you spend the next 6 weeks building it. And then you go back and you go, "Okay, it's ready to go." And then you get crickets. They're all like, "Oh, cool." But nobody buys it. And you're like, "Really?" I built it because you guys said you wanted it. And then when it comes time to pay for it, then all of a sudden they're like, "Well, it was a great idea."
Hmm.
It's a
Yeah.
huge difference between people telling you it's a great idea and them opening their wallet and buying it from you. And to me, that's the biggest vote of confidence is if they'll pay for it before it's even done. Everything I've ever made that they paid for it before it was done was an absolute winner. And it was absolutely worth building. And I
I'm
can't
just taking
say
notes.
that I've had others that, didn't work out that weren't that way, but that just guarantees it.
Yeah.
So so for me that's a that's a hard stop. If I can't sell it before, I can't sell it after. I just know that.
And I may be able to show off the quantum tools
Yeah.
during this workshop and get some interest there with
Yeah.
affiliate program.
Yeah. I'd roll in there with your affiliate link, say, by the way, we already did this.
Right, right.
Because if you sell them on the idea and then you have a solution, because what you did when you sell somebody on the idea, you basically provided them with a new problem. They want something that they don't have. That's a problem. And then you offer the solution.
Yeah, and you built that app for me that takes into account the target market, the what's unique, special, different, and better. What are the benefits?
Yeah.
Um, and a call to action, and it creates. It's called Brand Blurb if anybody's interested.
Yeah.
Um, and it comes up with a paragraph of highly converting marketing copy or a bullet point version.
Yeah. That's in the branding tools. I've actually used that. That's a pretty cool one.
Thanks. Yeah, that was great. All
That's
right,
the
thanks.
thing. Yeah, that's the really cool thing about creating these tools is you can do them off of anyone's idea. Like I could sit here and think, oh yeah, this would be a cool tool. But when you are a customer and you tell me, yeah, I need this, I know I should build that tool. Because, if you need it, you're paying for the product, then other people need it and, are paying for the product too. So,
Yeah, it was so great. Like I tested prompts for 6 months before we built it, and now I just have confidence that it's going to work, and it's all in one spot.
yeah, yeah, it's really cool.
Awesome. Thank you, John.
Yeah, absolutely. All right. Anybody else? Anybody else got anything you want me to cover before we wrap up? I know this is probably going to wind up being a short day, but that's okay. We'll be back next week, regular time. And also next week we have the crypto call. So those of you that are in that group, um, we got we're gonna have a tax person that's actually in our group. Teresa is going to talk about the documents that you need and the things that, like if you're out of the country at Caleb and Brown or any of those places, there's some documents that you're going to want to provide your tax professional. Keep yourself out of trouble. All right, Ben, go ahead. Ben, you got your hand up, but you're muted. All right, maybe his hand just went up by accident. How about Russ? Go ahead, Russ.
I'm here.
Yeah, go ahead.
You used to have a product, maybe you still do, it talked about geofencing, like say you were having a big convention in an area and you were wanted to be able to reach out to those folks. Do you still have that?
We that product is still around, but I got away from promoting it because the the providers that were running it were very unresponsive. Like
Oh,
I would send customers into them and they just really were not taken care of very well. So I just kind of backed out of promoting it. But I mean, I'm happy to connect you with it if you need it, but just go in with pretty low expectations of how you're going to be treated.
well, in your opinion, does it work or does it not work? Is there any success? I don't want to waste my time.
I never really used it myself, but I know what it does. It geofences a location, and we've got some great case studies. So I know it does work. We've got some really incredible case studies, from when we did the initial testing and marketing for it. So it'll basically rope off an area and tell you who came in and out of that area in any given time frame. So if that list is of value to you, and it also what it does, it allows you to retarget. So it doesn't give you their email addresses like Acquisition Air does. It basically allows you to retarget them with retargeting ads, which are really inexpensive. So basically, anybody that's in an area at any given time, you can follow them around with retargeting ads. That's basically what it does, how it works.
Okay.
So let's
E-
say let's say you target a marketing conference or an architect conference, and then you start following all the architects around with your ads and you have something for them that could work out pretty well for you.
yeah, that's exactly what I want to do. So how would I find out more? Just send you an email?
Yeah, just shoot me an email and I'll connect you with the guys that are doing it.
Okay. All right. We'll do.
I just got out of the middle of it because it was, I was just having people that were upset with me because they weren't like, attentive to them and getting back to them. And I'm like, yeah, I don't need that rubbing back on me. So,
Okay.
Hey
so
John,
yeah,
hey
you
John,
just,
can you
you
also
just,
send that information to me, please?
um, if you email me, I can send it to you.
Okay. Is it got to do what? Geofencing? That would that
Yeah,
be the word?
yeah,
Okay.
yeah,
Thank you.
geofencing. Yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
thank you.
Hey, John, you have any plans for any marketing events the weekend of the 24th of 25th of April on your boat?
April, is that? I think that's when I'm headed to Vegas. I've got the XRP Las Vegas. I actually bought a ticket this year, so I'm going to Vegas, and I
Oh,
know that's at the end of April and the 1st of May. So I'm gonna definitely be headed out there that time. But it is let me see. You know what? I don't have my calendar here. I'm at the hotel, so ask me that one again next week.
okay.
Or shoot me an email, either one.
Yep, we'll do. Thanks,
All
buddy.
right.
Happy
Cool.
birthday, by the way.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, I'm of the age now I could actually collect Social Security.
I'm
That's
with
kind of
you.
scary.
I'm right with you.
I actually might do that. I might take myself off the payroll and then double down on Barb so she actually has a few more years before she gets there. That could pump up what she gets as benefits.
There you go.
So, yeah, sounds like a good strategy. I'm always trying to game the system.
You wait a couple more years, you get more benefits, though.
Yeah, but a couple more years, XRP is going to make me not care.
Oh, that's right. You have a better plan.
Yeah,
The
I have a pretty
Limbacher,
good retirement plan.
the World Global Limbacher Fleet.
All right, let me hit Ben here before we wrap up. Ben, go ahead.
Hey, I was just seeing, we still have an Optimancer agency training and seeing what the schedule for that would be, you think?
Yeah, I'm actually going to do that. I don't know what day yet, but I'm going to do one of those next week. So I'll get an email out for you with the day and the time, and if you can't make it, it'll be recorded.
Okay, Chris will be on for tech questions too?
Yeah. Yep.
Okay, nice. Thanks.
Yep. We'll get him locked in. All right. Well, that should do it for today. Again, apologize for the short call, but like I said, I'm not at my normal desk, so I don't have all the cool stuff, cool bells and whistles to share with you. So I'll be back in next week and have a great week. If you guys need anything, shoot me an email and I'll get you fixed up.
Cheers, John. Thank you.
Thanks, John.
Thank you.
All right. We will see you guys next week.
Adios.